today we got some super exciting parts in. We got our taillights finally from Japan Parts Service. I had to buy these on Yahoo Auctions, and then they went ahead and imported them for me. These are off of a Toyota Corona, I'm not sure which one it is, but it's like a super specific couple of years, I think, and it's just super hard to find these things. If you can even find these for sale, they are extremely expensive. These things were so expensive. They were more expensive than what I bought this car for. They were more expensive than what I bought my wheels for, and basically they're the most expensive part on the car currently. I'm super happy I got these. I just wasn't exactly happy with what I had to do to get them. Obviously, it's a lot of money for these things, but they're the absolute perfect taillights for this build. These are what all of the legit builds over in Japan use. If you look at some of the old ones, maybe I'll put some pictures up or I'll just link them in the description or something. They only use this portion, so we are gonna be cutting off the reverse light here, but we are gonna have these tilted in the bumper just like we have our headlights, and since the headlights are square, these are square. I tried to find some alternatives, but there was really no way to get around it. I really just had to shell out the money and get what is basically the perfect thing for it. They're gonna be something like that. You think you could hold it? Just hold it like this and then step back. Good, just don't drop it. Now you gotta turn it like that. That's how they're gonna be mounted. Yeah, so that's how they're gonna be mounted. Obviously, like I just said, we're gonna be cutting that off, and that's what they do in Japan. And these are the absolute perfect taillights for this car and for this build. This is what all of the legit builds over there use. And then we also got something in from a subscriber. They sent me this cigarette lighter light. I think it's kind of funny, and I was using it in the Escalade. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the key. Look at that. Yeah, that's like super JDM, and it's just like a cigarette lighter. Doesn't really do anything but light up, and I think it's pretty awesome. It's just really kind of funny, and it was something that I knew that I had to get to kind of complete the interior of this thing, just for now, because there's not really much we're really going to be able to do, because I don't want to reupholster the seats, at least not for now. But you can see there's just enough going on here for now that I think it looks good. And look at this thing. This is just so funny. And then it matches our shift knob, which, by the way, we also got from Japan Parts Service, but they sent that to me a while ago. And yeah. Also, our hub Centric Spacers came in. I'm probably not even going to put these on until we actually start driving it, just because we are taking the wheels on and off so many times. I don't want to risk ruining these threads, because honestly, spacers are never really that good of quality, or at least the ones I get. I don't know. I kind of just get whatever I can get, and it'll be all right. I just don't want to put them on quite yet. I'll wait till we're at least later down the line and the wheels are kind of, at least kind of officially mounted. We'll wait till this thing's actually going to be driven. Anyways, so super excited for these taillights. Honestly, this is one of the biggest things, and really the last kind of puzzle piece to this entire car that we have to wait on. We have one more thing that's going to be coming in that I'm not going to be making, that is being made by someone else. We have the silt spoiler that goes under the car. That's being molded by Moonlight Runners, which is the same people that made the flares. So we're going to be getting that in within, I don't know, a couple of weeks. I'm not really in a rush, because that really could be one of the last things put on, and it's not going to affect anything else. But one major thing that I want to talk about that is going to make a lot of you guys upset is I'm not going to be putting in the taillights right away, or even anytime soon, because I think we're going to be completely redoing the rear end. I think we're going to completely tear it apart. We're going to completely redo the wing, everything. We're going to flap this, all this down, basically back to factory, besides some few things here and there. And we're gonna be redoing the rear bumper a little bit. It's still gonna be completely shaved, but just a different shape. Whenever I had started doing this, you guys gotta realize that whenever I started building this car, there was barely any information or pictures or anything online about these cars, and I really had a very limited amount of resources. Whereas now there's so many of the people over there that have these cars and that are enthusiasts of these cars that have Instagram accounts, and they just have thousands of pictures and so much more that I'm able to reference off of to build this car and see what I like and what I want to do. So I realized that my bumper is not exactly the way I would have liked it. This wing is arched a little too far back, it's probably a little too high, and this whole rear end is kind of a little overdone actually. It's almost too well done. We kind of just tried to make it look almost like it was factory with doing all this, which is really not something that they do. They really just kind of put the wing in there and they kind of just molded it into the rest of the body. As you can see, I have this line here, and that's kind of how it would be, but not really. Obviously, that's just a BS mark that I just put in there to see. We're gonna make this rear end a little bit more flat, less kind of curvy. That's one thing I really don't like about this. I really had to bump this out, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So the taillights aren't gonna be put in for a while because we're probably gonna end up tearing this rear end completely apart and redoing it, which now that I kind of know what I'm doing, it should only take, you know, a little bit to be able to completely redo this rather than how much time we put into it now, really because of the way I had started it. I mean, I had started this out in California before I really knew a whole lot. I was just kind of going at it and I was gonna make it as flat as possible, but now it's like we finally got it flat, but it really isn't what I want. And yes, it took a ton of time to get it to here, but that's because we didn't do it very well initially, whereas now that I have gained new skills and new knowledge on how to do things, I'll be able to knock out this rear end within, you know, a couple of weeks from when we start and just make it perfect, and it'll be that much more authentic. Realistically, that is the only thing that isn't authentic to the way that they would do things over there. Everything else is pretty damn close. This is really just something that is for me, has just gotten more of a sore thumb for me and kind of just annoying. I really just want to redo it and do it properly and do it how they would have done it over there. But that's really going to wait until we are just done with everything else, because that's really kind of a huge setback. Anyways, we're gonna move on and probably start working on this passenger fender flare in the front. Where we left off in the last video was fiberglassing this whole front thing. So we're gonna pull it all off, pull the aluminum tape from the backside, and then put some fiberglass from behind there, let that dry, and then we'll be able to start trimming everything and sanding and doing Bondo stuff. So that's probably all we're gonna get to today. The next step would be to take off some of these Glico clips and start doing some Bondaglass on here to try and start smoothing that out. But we're gonna have to wait till the fiberglass on the backside cures a little bit. So this is what I'm gonna be calling it for today. I'm basically just making this video just to show you guys the new taillights and some of the other stuff that we got in, including that little JDM cigarette lighter light. As you can see, things are starting to come together. Soon enough, this thing's gonna start, you know, really looking like a true Bozo car with all the aero and stuff. I'm super excited to start working on that stuff. Of course, we got to get this other fender banged out while working on that other one, but that's going to happen over this next week. But I am so excited for these taillights. It's unfortunate that I had changed my mind on the rear end and we're going to be redoing that, but at least for when we are ready to do that, we have the taillights. Anyways, guys, I know today's video was a little bit shorter than the last few, but I hope you enjoyed, and peace out.